Okay, guys, so we are on page 449. Yes, Sean, page 449. So let's take a look at this. So today we're talking about dividing fractions. So let's go right down here, okay? We know the process. When we divide fractions, we have to invert and multiply. Okay, what the heck does that mean? So we flip the second fraction and multiply. Okay, so they kind of show that up here. They take, really, example 1, they take 3/10 and they flip it to 10/3, and then you can multiply and get 10 over 15, which is 2/3. Okay, so we flip the second one, we multiply 1 times 10, 5 times 3, or we can cross reduce and get 2/3. Okay, same thing on the second example. Take the second fraction, since we're dividing, we flip it. Instead of 3xy over 10z, it goes upside down, 10z over 3xy, and we do a massive amount of cross multiplying, cross simplifying, and we get 2/3, which is cancel, 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 cancel. Okay, and the same thing for the third one. We take the second fraction, we flip it, there's my 10z squared on top, my 3xy on top, on the bottom we cancel, 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 we wind up with 2yz over 3, okay? I'm going to do one of these slowly so you can see. Let me do this one so you can see the canceling, but let me redo this one right here so you guys can see it. I'm going to take my xy squared over my 5z. Have the substitute, pause anytime you want to. Just ask politely, say please pause if I get going too fast. Okay? Oh, that's a z, my bad. That's a z. So I'm taking this problem here and I'm going to go through it slowly with you, okay? So, flip it. We're going to flip this fraction first. I'm going to rewrite this as xy squared over 5z times 10z squared over 3xy, okay? And then it's easy, it's just to cancel. Cross simplify. You could multiply straight across. There's nothing wrong with that. So let me show you that. You can multiply straight across and you get a 10 y squared z squared over 15 xyz. And then you can simplify if you want to. 2/3. Okay, this is one way to do it. This is not the way I would do it. 2/3. A y for a y, so I get a y on top. Cancel a y for a y. I get a y on top. Cancel a z for a z. I'd have a z on top, right? And I'd have, let's see, I'd have a 2/3. I'd have a y, right? And then I'd have a y on the bottom. Let's see, I'd have a y, z over an x. And I believe, oh, must have made a mistake somewhere because they got a different answer. 2yz. No, I got it right. Oh, I must have forgot to cancel the x's. There must be an x somewhere. There's my x. I forgot to write it down. Cancel the x with the x. Okay, there you go. No x. Okay, anyway, that's one way to do it. Or you cross simplify from here, which I think is faster. Okay, cancel, cancel. 1, 2 for 5 and 10. Cancel a z for a z. There's a z. Cancel a y for a y. There's a y. And there's my 2yz over 3, just 3. Okay, now let's turn the page. Okay, now the next page, I want to actually jump to B, okay? Well, we could do A again. I guess we could do A again. Let's do A again. So let's flip that one, and I'm going to do it my way, but I'll go slowly. 9ab squared over 4c. Since I'm dividing, I invert and multiply, flip the second one, 5ab over 18c squared. Okay, so I flip it. Anything on the top is fair game to canceling anything on the bottom. Okay, so wow, not much to cancel. I can cancel a 9 and an 18 reduces to 1 and 2. Really? Nothing else cancels? Boy, wish I had made this problem a little differently because that is a bad problem. Nothing else cancels, huh? Morales. So I have an a squared. I'd have a 1 a squared b cubed over a 8, 4 times 2, c cubed. Wow, that's kind of not very fun. Now let's do b. I want to do b. So I suggest we factor. This was a lot like our multiplication we talked about the other day. So I'm going to go 7x squared over. I'll take out a 3 and I'll have an x squared minus 9. Okay, common factor out of 3. I could probably factor that again, but let me flip this one. 3x minus 9 over 4x squared. So I flipped it, right? I flipped that one right there. Okay. Now, let's see if I can factor some more. 7x squared over a 3, and I can factor that into an x plus 3, x minus 3 times, okay, if I can common factor, on this one I can common factor out of 3, and again, pause the video anytime you want to, x minus 3 over 4x squared, okay? So I flipped it, I'm factoring, and now comes the good stuff. I get to cancel anything on top with anything on the bottom, so I can cancel an x plus 3 with an x, I'm sorry, x minus 3 is x minus 3. I can cancel an x squared with an x squared. Oh, I can cancel a 3 with a 3. And I think that's about all I can cancel. So my answer would be 7 over my 4x plus 3. Okay, and that's my answer. Okay? All right, let's do the last one. C. All right, let's flip it first, and then we'll factor. Okay, flip, and then we'll factor. Okay, so let's watch this one. So I'm going to take my 3x squared plus 15x over x. I bet that's x squared. I think they made a mistake. This got to be x squared minus 3x minus 40 times x squared minus 64 over 5x squared. So I flipped it, changed it to multiply. Okay, now let's factor. Well, on the first fraction in the numerator, I'm going to common factor out of 3x out of this. Common factor out of 3x, x plus 5. In its denominator, I'm going to factor that into an x minus 5. Oh, let's see, it's 8. No, this one's 8 and 5, right? Minus 8 plus 5. Ooh, almost made a mistake. This one I'll factor into x plus 8, x minus 8, x plus 8, x minus 8 over my 5x squared. Okay, so let's see what we can cancel, okay? Let's see, I can cancel x plus 5. I'm in a hurry, I shouldn't be. Cancel x plus 5 with x plus 5, x minus 8 with x minus 8. I can cancel an x right here. This x for one of those x's and have just an x left over. I think that's it. So as an answer, in the numerator at the top, I'd have a 3 with an x plus 8 over a 5x. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, ask me later. There is a homework, and I think there's a math also. Okay, that's all I got.